Welcome back, people of the World Wide Web, to VIDEOCHILD. I am your host, Oliver, and if you guys are new here, hi. If you guys are coming back, what the hell possessed you to do that? Last episode, we focused on cell phone photography, but now we're gonna up the game, up the ante a little bit, and give you guys some more tools so that you can start filming and audio recording professional work on your phone as well. So I'm kind of in the middle of a move. Again, last time we talked about cell phone photography. Today we're talking about cell phone film and audio. Last time I said that some of the apps were iPhone specific, and it turns out that was a huge lie. Only one of them, and that was Scroll, so I apologize for that. This time, there is also, again, only one app that is iPhone specific, but again, you can get alternative apps on your Android that do very similar things. Now, before diving into apps and things, I think that we should discuss a question that's probably on your mind right now. You're probably wondering why we're going over this. You're probably thinking, Ollie, what the fuck? I thought this was a photography channel. I think it's pretty simple. I mentioned before that I want to cater to my beginners and to my people, my creators out there who are on a tight budget. Everyone's been there. And people, again, keep branching out into other art forms like film and audio. Like I said, they just bundle together so quickly, so easily, so you end up doing it anyway. I figured if I was gonna do a special on cell phone photography, I might as well stay on that cell phone path for a little bit longer so I can teach you guys all of the respects and aspects that you can do on your phone for your media, for your creation, for your art. So I hope you find this eye-opening, impactful, interesting, I hope, maybe even liberating, maybe even, and I hate to say this, educational. Currently at my girlfriend's house, and my room is gross and bare, and I actually have to be here today because I wanted to surprise her and clean her room. She's just been having busy days lately and is having less and less time to work around the house. She's working like 12-hour days and shit, you know? So I thought, why not be a sick-ass boyfriend and come on over here and clean that shit for her? So that way when she comes home, she'll just piss herself. Now, my other goal for today is to show you guys some apps, some techniques on your phone on how to film and record audio. But more than that, I'm going to be recording myself cleaning this space, recording myself cleaning some downstairs because we had a little party last night. And this is for a couple of reasons. First, I wanted to challenge myself to videotape something mundane and show you guys what's possible with just normal things, just things from my ordinary life. You know, people have parties and then have to clean up after. Like, I don't know how many people have filmed that yet. I haven't, but I'm going to. And some people may even feel like, well, Ollie, you're helping me with my equipment stuff. Now I have my cell phone to record shit, but my life is so boring and so ordinary. What do I even begin to film? Film, photograph, record, whatever you want, what you know. That's the best advice I can give. Do what you know. Everything matters, sometimes just to us, but it matters. And we can't go around comparing ourselves to other people with their struggles or their achievements, or we're never gonna grow. We're never gonna get anywhere. So I wanna start talking about these apps and just kind of showing you guys what tools are out there. First app that we're gonna go over together is, in fact, Spark Camera. This is the only app that I'll be mentioning today that is specifically used for iPhone. But again, check out Android's options. It's just a camera, okay? So if you think this is a little too fancy, you don't really need all these settings, then just use your phone camera and you'll be fine. But this camera here has a couple of uses and a couple of extra settings that your built-in cell phone camera may not have. For starters, if we open up here, if we click this A down in the bottom left corner, it will open up these settings here. And you can change the frame rate from 24 frames per second, I think, to whatever's after 120. You can also choose if it's in 1080p, HD, or 4K. You can do HDR. And then another tool that I would suggest to have on all the time is the stabilize option. It's pretty minute, it's not like the craziest thing, but it does help stabilize your footage most of the time. This camera is super easy. It's like Snapchat or Vine. All you have to do is hold down on the screen, and it'll begin to record. Boom. And so now, just like Snapchat and Vine, like if you swipe up with your thumb as you're holding down, it'll zoom in, and if you swipe down, it'll zoom out. Basic principles here, I would hope. So all you have to do is point and shoot and point and shoot, and you're just gonna get a bunch of different shots. Now the fun thing about this is that if you go to the play button on the bottom right corner, it'll begin to show you your footage. Point and shoot. Okay, I'm gonna turn the volume down for a second. So we have an editing stage in this app, which is really nice. So basically you hold and shoot and it'll just compile those shots for you. And you can find them down here with the scissors. So now I have 2 shots here, and what I can do is isolate one, and I can trim from the beginning and the end. Unfortunately, I can't cut in between, but that's what other editing apps are for. This is just kind of making sure it starts where it needs to and ends where it needs to. Another thing is that you can drag and drop footage to the top to delete, and that makes it really easy. They also have special effects that you can do overlays over your footage. So they have snow. Another one that I use pretty often is film grain. That is a really nice tool. They have disposable cameras. They have glitches, VHS. They have a couple of things here that will stylize your footage a little bit. And speaking of stylization, another thing that you can do is filters. So just like Snapchat or Instagram, if you just swipe to your right and left, you will be given all of these presets, all of these filters that will go over your footage. I personally like Paris for that like vintage Kodak feel. Another one that is really good that I used to use all the time is Tokyo, but I would suggest that these filters always look best about 80% or less. So once you are swiping left and right and see these filters, you can drag up and down with your thumb to increase or decrease the value of that LUT or preset, filter, whatever. And the last thing that I'm gonna mention is that there are these 3 final buttons that all mess with audio specifically. So the first one, which is all of these knobs here, controls the volume of the footage you took. And then the second knob is the music that you can add in by clicking on this musical note in the bottom right corner. You can import from iTunes, you can import from your files if you have any downloaded music, and then you can also use stock music that they have in the app. And then the last thing is this microphone, which allows you to do a voiceover, something beautiful and lovely. Something beautiful and lovely. Voiceover, something beautiful and lovely. See? Voiceover. If you don't like what you have and you click the microphone again, it'll give you the options of removing the voiceover or recording a new one. So those are all options available to you. So that's Spark Camera in a nutshell. Super basic, really easy, and again, just kind of run and gun. You know, it's meant to be one of those things that you just take out and just start pointing and shooting at things until you get what you like. The next app that we're gonna talk about is called Splice. Splice is pretty cool because there are a lot of video editing apps out there. There's InShot, CapCut, those are like pretty famous options, but I would say that Splice is the best for one specific reason, because it has a tool that all of the other apps do not have that I've seen, and that is layers for your film. At least 2. I don't know if you can do more than 2 layers, but that's good enough. If you go to any other editing app, then you only have a single track for your footage and a single track for your audio, or sometimes they have a few different tracks for your audio, but never for your film. And your footage should have more than 1 track. That's what makes it easier to edit. So Splice, let's just go in and make a new project and I'll show you the layout here. Alrighty, so there is a premium subscription on this, but if you don't want it, I don't. It's okay. Okay, so I just uploaded some pictures to my timeline. We have me playing Risk last night, some of my Creep Cottage merch. I cut my finger, and there's a cat on the bed, on this bed right behind me. So, what we can do, which will make this so nice, is drag and drop the footage above the timeline, and then we can move it over. So now we have a layer on top. Okay, now this is really interesting because what you can do with this, a great thing that if you're stuck as a creator, Sometimes you are listening to a song and you can't find it anywhere. You can't download it. You can't figure out the name of the song. So what I would advise is screen recording that specific post, bringing it into Splice, making it the bottom layer, and then putting your actual footage you want the audience to see on top. That way you keep the audio and you get rid of the old post and make your own post to that same audio. Another thing is if you like mixed media. So if you like the intro for VIDEOCHILD, that is a mixed media intro where it's ripped paper transitions and things like that. And those are all custom. But if you have those images on your phone or want to make that album collage look, then all you need to do is add things above the timeline so they cut in and out, and things will change underneath, things will change on top, alternating when things will switch out for another picture, and then you get that kind of album effect. And Splice is just nice because they have everything you could possibly need, you know, like any editing app. You can cut, you can delete, you can extract audio, you can mute, you can add music. So just kind of play around with Splice and see what you can do. The last app that we're gonna go over, everyone should have, I really hope. This is not iPhone specific, because it's not a specific app. It's just any app that can record your voice. For me, I have voice memos, and it's gonna be a good time. Now, these can capture your voice extremely well to begin with already. If you start recording on that voice memo app or whatever you have, you play it back and you realize that you are having some issues, like some popping sounds, or it's just muffled, or it's not crisp enough, things like that, then I have some tips for you to make sure that every time that you record will be successful. The first thing you want is a quiet goddamn room. You want to make sure that there's no fans going, no open windows. Bruh, I'm in the middle of a goddamn video. Shut up. Goddamn neighbors, man. Soundproofing is a great second tip. I would just say anything is great for soundproofing. I'm surrounded by pillows right now. Pillow after pillow. This is definitely softening my voice a little bit in the room. I'm just surrounded by a bunch of soft things, and my microphone is just, you know, surrounded also by soft things. I'm on a bed, so there's a blanket. It's nice and comfy. And you'll notice, don't mind how weird this looks. No, why you do? Does my voice seem to sound better underneath the blanket? It's probably because all of the softening dampening the sound and making it sound buttery. Another thing that you could buy for $20 off of Amazon, I'll link it below, is called a pop filter. Pop filter is that screen that you see in front of people's microphones like you saw at the beginning of this film. It is just this like cloth screen that will stop plosives from hitting the microphone and making loud sounds. So when a person speaks, naturally their P's, their T's, things like that will be harsh, and they will make little popping sounds on the microphone. So a pop filter is a screen that will prevent those sounds from being so harsh and popping that microphone and making that sound. If you don't have a pop filter, a great technique though is use a stick, a pencil, a vape, and have that in front of the microphone like this. So have the microphone about 3 fingers away from the vape, and then have your mouth be about 2 inches away, another 3 fingers from your vape. So when you're talking into the microphone and you're all your P's and T's are going to be hitting the vape and going around it. And so the sound is actually softened by going around that and kind of hitting that wall, hitting a surface that will kind of soften that and that. So that's always a good advice too. Now, if you like that, but you're like, you know what? I still want a microphone, you know? Like, I feel like my phone can't capture that. If you're still feeling like that, then, I mean, 1, you're dumb. But 2, I got your back, dude. First off, let's talk about this guy. Let me just untangle him first. Was I prepped for this episode? Holy shit. Okay, first thing we're gonna talk about is this guy. First thing we're gonna talk about is this guy right here. Bitch, bro. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is this guy right here. This is a lav mic. So what this does is basically the same thing here. This one's just wireless. You clip it onto your shirt and you speak. This is great for voiceovers, for run and gunning it, interviews for sure. And if you're an iPhone person, you'll need to buy one of these too. A dongle. Don't ask me why the fuck they called it that. But a dongle is just an adapter that will make sure it can connect to your phone. So that when you're doing your voiceovers, it connects into the phone. So this is a great option because this is really cheap. You can get these off of Amazon for like $10 to $20. And they're all functional. I would say that you can't really go wrong with buying a cheap lav mic. It's just always helpful. The next thing is definitely more pricey. It is up there. And I know we're supposed to be budget friendly, but I will say that this is probably the cheapest, best microphone that you can get for your phone. And it's the Rode Mic Me L. Now this thing has an iPhone adapter as part of it. So all you have to do is plug it into your phone here and it will act as a shotgun mic and you just speak into it like this. And then don't forget your vape so you can get rid of those goddamn plosives. This is only $80. So I know it's like a little thing and it's just for your phone, but I mean, you can't tell me that sometimes you wish you could do a voiceover and you don't have any equipment on you from your camera bag. You have a good idea, you have a voiceover that you're like writing down, you're like, I wanna get this like done right now. It's nice having a microphone that can capture really good noise prints, especially with something that is as portable and reliable as your phone. So, putting all of this shit together, we should get something like this.
Wanted me, I wish I knew. I wish I knew you wanted me. I wish I knew. I wish I knew you wanted me. What you do? Made a move, could've made a move. If I knew, I'd be with you. Is it too late to pursue? I bite my tongue, it's a bad habit. Kinda mad that I didn't take a stab at it. Thought you were too good for me, my dear. Never gave me time of day, my dear. It's okay, things happen for reasons that I think are sure, yeah. I wish I knew. I wish I knew you wanted me. I wish I knew. I wish I knew you wanted me. I wish I knew. Yeah. I wish I knew.
So, funny story. I work at Cinemark now, and they're just giving out all of these milk dud cases because they keep breaking on one side. They keep opening. So I keep stealing them for Emma. And now I have this masterpiece. I'm sure you guys saw me packing them. Yeah, I've stolen a lot of milk duds, it would seem. You go right there.
And that's everything I have for your Kickstart kit to film, photo, podcasting, audio, whatever it is you want to do. I hope this was impactful and that it helped. It kind of helped guide you a little bit. With these 3 art forms in your pocket at all times, you would be astounded what you can make on the daily. If you guys were able to make it all the way to the end, thank you so much. And please consider liking the video, it helps us out. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you get notified when we make more content like this. As per the usual, I have been your test subject, Oliver, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Video Child. Peace out.